welcome back to Retro.Quest 1.0, guys. I'm Shannon, and
I'm Nick,
and it is week 3. Yeah, I can't do the 3. I'll just hold it like that. It's week 3.
You could do it like that.
I could do it like that. I could do it like... No, I'm not going to do that way. But week 3 has been a good week. It's been a bit rainy in Australia, so we haven't really been visiting a lot of places. However, we have had some great success. This week, we changed our tactic.
Yes.
You want to discuss what we did instead of last 2 weeks' tactics?
Oh, so this week, we went out hunting private collections. Collected from guys basically on Facebook, really, eh?
And Gumtree.
And Gumtree. And Gumtree, yep.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, American guys might not have Gumtree.
I know the UK has Gumtree.
Yeah,
because,
yeah. It's like a...
It's like Craigslist.
Craigslist, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Craigslist, except they don't sell drugs or prostitution or whatever else I've heard on Craigslist. I've heard there's some really weird people on Craigslist.
Yeah, maybe.
So Gumtree has tire kickers, people that waste your time, people that you'll message and they won't message you back. You know who you are. Yeah. But overall, we did have some success. Yes. So
tell us about what you got.
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing that I picked up this week, I picked up 2 items. Well, it's more than 2 items, but in general, it's 2 items. I got a cartridge and I got an accessory that came with a cartridge, so a boxed accessory.
A boxed accessory?
So
and it's not a hairbrush.
It's not a hairbrush or a hair curler.
Yeah. Or
anything like that. But anyway, last week we were speaking about the Zapper. You had the orange Zapper.
I have the Zapper.
And I was like, you know what? I need to best that.
Oh.
I need to get better than that because I'm super.
Huh?
So I picked up the Nintendo. Wait, I'll hold it the right way. The Super Scope 6.
In the box with the foam. With the cartridge.
And the manual.
So
if you want to buy the game itself, it's only looks like this, and it's worth about $6.
Yeah.
Not worth a lot. It is actually a rarity of 6, so that this cartridge is actually the rarest in my collection so far. Which is freaking hilarious. But the fact that this comes in the box is actually special because that means that it's complete. You see it's got Mattel on it, which don't exist anymore. Yeah. It's a very iconic piece. Now, if you want to take a quick look in it, we won't be able to really show you how it works because we don't have the lights and we don't have the TV set up and all that sort of stuff. But you can see that inside the box, complete. You know, we've got the cartridge, we've got the device, we've got the bolt-on scope down here, and we also have the receiver. So the receiver, if I'm correct, don't quote me on this, I believe that this is the early Nintendo Wii technology with the wand and stuff, because I believe that inside this, there's the little tracker that responds to this, which allows you to play on regular TVs. So once we get that set up, that's gonna pretty awesome. But
gonna be sick.
That is my
that's a beast. That thing is a beast.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember playing this and like smacking people, like being like, I'm shooting a guy. So that
is literally next level guns for any console.
Well, yeah, it's.
I don't think there's anything being bigger than that, really, is it?
Maybe if you look at like arcade machines, they have like silent scope and stuff, but at home, I think that this is probably the biggest
consoles. Yeah. I think that's probably the biggest gun you can get.
Yes, exactly. I reckon that's pretty big. So my gun is bigger than your gun.
No, it's not.
Your little zapper. Pew pew.
No,
mine just goes.
He's now talking shit.
Moving on. My other find was Mrs. Pac-Man.
Yes, that's a good one.
So this is actually a good one. It's actually going to be my pick of the week. If you want to get into picks of the week. Now I've found this. I paid $19 for it. It's a rarity of 5, but the cartridge is valued at $49. So I paid a really good underprice on that one. And Mrs. Pac-Man, who doesn't want Mrs. Pac-Man, man?
No, those Pac-Man games are like, if you look at the arcade games, holy crap, they're worth so much money now, especially if they're restored as well. So
yeah.
Getting a cartridge of Mrs. Pac-Man is pretty rare.
And one of the cool things is, if Mrs. Pac-Man, very iconic, you know, and you even get them in pop culture references, you know, like the pizza with the half-eaten thing, people joke about it as well. But then they also made the movie Pixels. Yeah. When you had the giant Pac-Man that actually bit the arm off the creator of Pac-Man. Yeah. So that sort of just makes me laugh. The only difference is she wears red boots and has gloves and a bow tie. So that's how you distinguish Mrs. Pac-Man from
Mr. Pac-Man.
regular Pac-Man. Not Mr. Pac-Man,
No,
just
Mr.
regular
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. No, he was never called Mr. Pac-Man.
Well, she's Miss Pac-Man.
He's
Sorry.
Miss Pac-Man, not married.
Not married.
Not married. Anyway, moving on to your find.
Yeah, so my find this week, it's a bit of an indie game actually. So
what do you mean by indie?
What do I mean by indie?
Yeah, what do you mean by indie?
So this game was not unlicensed.
Unlicensed. There you
So it's a rarity of 9. It was released in Australia by a company called Home Entertainment Supplies.
Yep.
Actually got it in the box with the manual and the cartridge. So this is it here. Looks like an old video VCR or video?
VCR, VHS.
VHS case.
It looks like a VHS case.
Yeah. So this is actually just a shooting game. You can either use a controller or the zapper.
Which is nice.
Yep. It's pretty cool. So the cartridge is a little bit different to a normal NES
Holy, look
cartridge.
at that.
It's got your normal entry put into the NES there. Then it's got another adapter. I'm unsure what this adapter is for.
I believe that adapter is if somebody buys that in America.
Oh, okay.
Because it's very similar with the Super Nintendo. If you buy an NTSC cartridge, there is an adapter system for it.
Yep.
So you plug one into the other. And I believe if it's in PAL format, what it does is it sort of sets a code to it, so you can play it on your PAL system. I could be incorrect, but when it came to the Super Nintendo, we had a game and you put another game on top of it. And what it did was it allowed you to play it on your PAL system if it was NTSC or CCAM. So it sort of just adjusts the region codes. It's probably because, since you said it's an indie Australian game, they wanted to sell it worldwide.
Yeah.
So instead of having to reproduce many cartridges, they just made that so you can just adapt it.
And the cool thing about this as well, like the manual, I don't want to pull it out actually because it might rip a bit more.
Be gentle. It's worth money.
It's actually worth a bit of money.
This is actually
It's
a
probably
full complete thing.
this is my most expensive game. In my list.
Your most valued game, like the most expensive game, the most you paid for, or it's worth the most?
It would be my most expensive actually because I think I paid $35 for this.
35.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I've paid $35.
So, if you can see, the manual is actually behind the cover.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. It's definitely
and it's
a bit how you doing right there.
Yeah, it's not the best condition, but very lucky to find this because when I bought it, actually, I couldn't see any photos of it.
Oh, right.
Because it was on a pawnbroker's website.
Yes.
And they didn't put any photos up. I messaged them and said, is this a complete game? What's with it? And they said, oh, it comes with the case and everything. I'm like, alright. So I bought it for $35, thinking, oh, I'll probably just get cartridge. And come like this. And I'm stoked because it's actually worth, if you go off eBay prices, for a full complete one, $200.
Oh, that's alright. Jeez, that's a good buy. And it's such a unique item because you wouldn't regularly see something in that box.
No, they normally come in the cardboard boxes.
And the cool thing about it is it's actually on the list of items to collect, even though it wasn't released by Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it was actually that popular that it was an official release to the NES, but it wasn't in the original.
It wasn't backed by Nintendo. It wasn't
backed by and it wasn't designed like a regular cartridge. Yeah. So if you saw that, you might actually pass it up. You might be like, what the hell's that knockoff game?
And I have seen other games like this.
Yeah. The
black cartridge with the little extension.
Adapter tab. Yep.
And I've looked at them and gone, well, I don't know if these are real or not.
But
that's just my lack of knowledge.
The whole, is this game real?
So there is other games out there made by the Home Entertainment Supplies, which is an Australian company.
Yep.
They still make games today. Redistribute them.
Redistribute. Yeah, okay. They're the distributors of games today.
Yeah, so they're still around. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Well, now that we know what we've picked up this week, how about we cut to the pick of the week, which is a new segment, which is pretty much I tell you what game my favorite is for the week, you tell what your favorite game is, and then we show a little bit of gameplay.
Sounds good to me.
So because I've already said it, my game of the week is Mrs. Pac-Man. I really look forward to finishing this one on stream. I'm terrible at Pac-Man. You can hold that against me. It'll probably be like 7 days straight of Pac-Man before I even get past the first level. But I look forward to checking this out. And that's me done. Pick of the week.
The sound is woo. Something
like that. Yeah.
We're not good with sound.
Yeah.
We're
Pick
not sound effect guys. Mine is obviously this game, Chiller, because once it's the most expensive game that I own, and it's an Australian release.
Yes, very important.
Australian made, people.
Made in Australia.
It says on the case.
Australia.
So this is definitely my pick of the week. Purely, it's a shooting game. I like shooting games. It's very arcade-like. Shooting range. You just shoot down the screen. That's it. There's no movement involved, so it's a very easy game.
Awesome. All right, enjoy the gameplay, guys. Now that you've seen the pick of the week, we should do a progress report like we have been doing in the last couple of weeks. Progress report, of course, progress is important because if we're not moving forward,
we're moving backwards.
Oh well,
okay.
We're moving back. So I'm going to bring up my my collector app. If you guys are collecting and you want to figure out prices and stuff like that, we'll put the link below.
Yep.
It's called Retro Game Collector. There's a bunch of categories for all different arcade systems. I mean, console systems and stuff at home. Once you download it, you get one free one. Then you have to pay for the rest.
Yeah.
So we use this to identify what our most rare game is, our most valuable game, and then how many games we have in the collection, and give you guys a percentage. So at the moment, fake drum roll. Add drum roll here, guys. Add drum roll. I have 1%, 1.28%.
You're gonna say one game.
I have 1.28% of Australian released titles. That is a total of 6 games. Doesn't include the accessory, so the prices would be a bit up and down. My rarest game is Super Scope 6. Comes in at a rarity of 6. And my most valuable game, like I said, is Mrs. Pac-Man at $49 for the cartridge. So, not too bad. That puts my collection probably about $150 so far.
That's pretty good.
So it's not too bad. Moving on to your progress, how you doing?
So, I have a couple of games in the mail.
So we technically don't count those until they arrive.
Yeah, right? I don't put them on my list until they arrive.
Because there's always the chance of non-delivery or cancellation or whatever.
Or something silly.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I have.
That's a way better job.
No. Mine was way better.
Woo!
I have 3.8%.
3.08%. 3.08%. Nice.
Of 800 and whatever games.
Yep.
And my most rare is Championship Rally. Brilliant game. Most valuable is obviously Chiller.
Yep.
And the collection is worth roughly about $700.
Jeez.
And I have 26.
You are boosting ahead, man.
26 games at this moment.
I guess you've got 20 more games than I do.
Yeah. And I have 4 in the mail.
4 in the mail.
4 in the mail.
I do have some stuff in the mail, but I'm not going to say what it is because that's next week on Retro.Quest. So make sure, guys, if you want to see what's coming up, you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course follow us on our social media.
Yes.
We have Instagram and Facebook, and of course YouTube. And all you need to do is search Retro.Quest, one word, and add 1.0 on it. Retro.Quest 1.0. Shazam!
Ching.
Peace!